folks, for today's video we have a 2020 Kia Telluride, and I am joined here by our awesome sales consultant Richard Young. He's working over here at Mississauga Kia in Mississauga, you would have guessed it. So Richard, how long have you been selling cars for, man? Tell us about yourself.
I've been in the business for about 3 years now, selling cars for Kia, only one dealership.
Awesome.
I believe in the product strongly. We have great vehicles. They're coming out. They're getting better every day. So it's a very good product.
So the Kia Telluride, this is 2020. What model is this, Richard?
The model that we're sitting in is the SX trim.
SX
so it's
trim.
The middle trim level for here in Canada.
Okay. And what do you get on the SX trim? Is it the most popular version of this car?
I would say, yeah, it's the most popular version. It's an 8-passenger. You get all the safety features you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing it's really missing from the Limited is the heads-up display, a self-leveling rear suspension, LED taillights, and really that's that. And then obviously the captain seats in the back.
So let's slow down one at a time here. So you said self-leveling rear suspension. Now, is that for towing and hitching?
Yeah, anytime that you have extra weight or anything in the back towing wise, your back end of the car is going to want to sink down.
Gotcha.
But what it will do is it'll actually self-level. It's a safety hazard if the car is sitting down a little bit, because your headlights are actually going to be pointing up versus pointing where they're supposed to be.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
with the self-leveling, it kind of levels everything out, keeping your headlights nice and straightforward.
Cool. Okay, so the SX that we're in right now, you would say this is probably the most popular spec. And in terms of, you mentioned captain seats as well.
Yeah.
This is an 8-seater. I noticed that in the back row here, or the second row, we have a bench. Can you get an SX with the captain's chairs, or it is only the bench?
It's just the bench. The
Okay.
SXL, which is the Limited,
Okay.
you'll get the captain's seats with the air-cooled and air-heated seats in the back as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you captain's chairs and a little bit more creature comforts, and that's one trim up. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, one trim level up.
Okay, and everybody already probably watching this, you have an idea of what the car is worth, but the sticker price on this one, Richard, Canadian dollars, what are we looking at here?
The one that we're sitting in, we're looking at a 49.9 car, so 49,900 MSRP.
Cool, and that's Canadian?
That's Canadian, correct. Yeah.
And obviously this is brand new to the segment. One of the questions that we noticed that people were asking, the model name Telluride itself.
Yep.
Does that stand for anything?
They got it from because they want to step outside the box a little bit more and be more outdoorsy and everything.
Okay.
And there's a city in Colorado called Telluride.
Oh,
and
no
that's
kidding.
kind of where we got the name from, is through Colorado. So going up and down the mountains and everything like that, being a little bit more outdoorsy.
Like an outdoorsy vehicle. Okay,
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, of course you have, the Chevrolet Tahoe and, obviously after Lake Tahoe. So that's kind of neat. The Telluride for Kia went that route too with the naming of that.
Yep.
In terms of specs, so we talked about some of the features you get in the car, but engine-wise, are you going to get a different powertrain going up or down in trims with this vehicle?
No, the engine for the segment is all the same throughout the three models.
Okay.
It's a 3.8-liter V6, boasting about 291 horsepower.
Cool.
Very good on gas. It actually, out of the Kia Sorento and the Kia Telluride, you get a little bit better fuel mileage on the Telluride, even though the engine specs are a little bit bigger.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and is that due to the transmission as well?
Yeah, it's due to the transmission, and then it's also done through the different drive modes as well.
Okay, and let's talk about that. I'm looking at this button here. I don't know if we can see this in 360. We'll pull the camera back just a little bit here. We have how many drive modes here?
So you got the 4 different drive modes, and
Okay.
then you got your different terrain modes. So depending on the weather,
Yep.
specs. So if it was raining, or if it was muddy, snowy, anything like that, you can change them. So just by twisting this dial, we can switch from a comfort to an eco, down to a sport, and even a smart mode.
Okay, now, is that something that any of the other Kia products have, like as many drive modes? Is that something new for the Telluride?
The drive modes are the same for some of the other cars. They might not have the 4,
Okay.
but they will be there. But the terrain modes is where that's new for Kia. You got your mud, your sand, and your snow.
Awesome.
So depending on the weather conditions and stuff like that.
Cool. And so the one that we're in right now, obviously it has that nice wood trim finish. Looks super sleek, and you have the brushed, I don't know what you call it, brushed aluminum finish here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a satin finish in a sense.
Yeah, satin, looks really smooth. I don't know if it's going to pick up, but the dashboard, you have all of your piano keys here. So is this a new infotainment system for 2020, or
this is new for the 2020. We have it in a couple of our models now. The 10.25-inch screen. It's very big. you open it up just by a click of a button. It can open up widescreen for you.
Cool.
It's giving you a little bit more access, more visibility. You don't have to squint or anything with the screen being a little bit bigger.
Yeah, no kidding. And now, do we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay?
Of course. We just hit this home button right here. Cycle over onto the different page. There's your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto.
Of course.
All you have to do is hook that up.
Nice. And we don't have the phone paired right now, but I'm assuming you just basically have the app enabled. It'll ask if you want to connect, and you're in.
Yeah, so with the Android Auto, you do have to download the app.
Okay.
It's not standard on the Android phones, but it takes 2 seconds. It's free from the Play Store.
Cool.
You just download that really quick. And then, yeah, it'll ask you to just unlock your phone when you're in the car. So before you start driving, just unlock it once it's connected. And it's all hands-free from there on.
Very nice. And I see here we have Harman Kardon sound system.
Yes, it has the Harman Kardon sound system. Very, very good speakers in this vehicle.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do we have anything playing here?
I don't know what's on the station right now.
Let's see who was last driving. Let's go radio. Let's see if somebody's listening to classical or what we got going on here.
We got Diplo's Revolution.
Okay, let's see if the bass. Very nice. Okay, that's enough of that. Cool. Sounds good.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah, so the wood trim, obviously, it looks really slick. You know, it's almost like a coffee finish in here. In terms of other quirks, beyond physically, you know, just looking at the car for the first time, are there any other cool things you may not necessarily see on the spec sheet?
Well, you'll see them on the spec sheet, but some of the cool quirks, we have the blind view monitoring. When you turn on a signal light,
Cool.
You got a nice kind of bird's eye view of what's in your blind spot on both sides, left and right.
Like they did with the Civic, and now they have it on...
So yeah, the Civic, the main difference with this and the Civic would be the Civic is only on the passenger side, which would be
Gotcha.
a further blind spot for the driver.
Yeah.
The Telluride, you got it on both left and right,
Yep.
which is very nice. Quirks, I guess, in a sense, I don't think it'll let us access this while we're driving, but there is a 64 color theme. So at nighttime, under here and in the door panels, that will light up, and you can choose from 64 different colors.
So like the Kia Soul, I know that was a big thing with the music and the colors.
Yeah,
So
in a sense.
Cool.
So you get that color scheme, so you can almost drive to any color you like. It's great with the kids. It's a big hit with little kids.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. And it's funny, a really small thing, but seems to be a big thing that a lot of people always ask questions. I see at the bottom here, you have mounted steering wheel, where you can basically just have the one hand if you're comfortable with that. You know, some vehicles don't have it, big 7-seaters. In terms of safety features, does this thing have like a collision detection or forward
So the model that we're in, it has your lane keep assist,
Okay.
which will actually nudge the steering wheel to keep you into the middle.
It pushes you, physically moves the car back in the
It
lane?
will physically move the car, put it back into the middle.
Yeah.
If you try to switch lanes without a signal light, you can obviously overpower the physical when it nudges you back, but it
but it's thinking, hey, you should probably stay in the lane.
It will beep at you as well. It'll
No
go
kidding.
beep, beep, beep. For instance, if you put a blind spot on, if the blind spot's on and I put a signal light on,
Yep.
again, it's going to give you an audio tone. It's going to go beep, 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 letting you know, okay, someone's there.
Cool.
Let's just take a safer approach with this.
Mm-hmm.
So very good that way. It does have the self-autonomous, well, it has smart cruise control first.
So what does that mean, Richard?
So with smart cruise control, on the highway, most of the time is when people will use the cruise. But what it is, you can set it to a speed. So say you have it set to 100.
Yeah.
And someone on the on-ramp cuts in and goes in front of you, but they're only doing 90. Your car's automatically going to slow down, apply the brakes, detect. You can set it up to 4 car lengths, 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, or 1.
Wow, okay.
And it's going to keep that distance.
Wow.
It's like a distance pacing. As soon as that car moves out of your way, it's going to accelerate back up to the speed that you had it set to.
Awesome. And let's talk. So you mentioned that this was an 8-seater.
Correct.
Right? It can go up to 8 seats. We know that, I guess it's a Kia Sorento. That's a 7-seater.
The Kia Sorento, yes, that would be a 7-passenger.
Is the Kia Sorento, is that available in an 8-seater at all? Or why would you buy this opposed to the Sorento? What do you...
This is going to be a lot more space.
Okay.
The Kia Sorento with the 7-passenger, yes, you're going to accommodate a lot of people there. But with those last 2 seats up, you have very limited trunk room.
Okay.
With this one, you have all your seats up, and you can still go to the groceries. You can still drop people off at the airport with luggage in the back. You're not going to be limited on that space.
And before we got in this, we started filming. All the seats were flat. They fold completely flat, which is super awesome. So if you're doing that IKEA run, you got a huge box or table or whatever, you basically just slide it on through. So that's pretty neat.
Yep, 100%.
Awesome. And in terms of this, just let's ask for a second here. This versus the Palisade. the Hyundai Palisade, very similar in segment. What's Kia's specific advantage that maybe a Palisade doesn't have, or is an upsell of why you think it'd be beneficial to buy this car over that?
It comes down a lot down to aesthetics, like how the look of this car is as well.
Okay.
And they also, with the Palisade, they have a drive-by-wire.
Okay.
So like little twist turn with the button pushing
Mhm.
versus the regular transmission, and a lot of people like having the gear, being able to choose exactly
As
the gear.
opposed to like the piano keys where.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that would be kind of a big difference there.
Okay.
Of course, they're going to be the exact same in like features and stuff like that. They just provide them at different trim levels.
Gotcha.
And I feel that Kia, the second trim level, the one that we're driving,
Mhm.
provides a lot more safety equipment and a lot more
Standard on this level.
exactly
Gotcha.
versus what the Palisade will provide you.
Cool. And let's ask, if you were to buy this car, is it better to lease or finance, or is that a fair question?
It is a fair question, but it does come down to the person.
Okay.
It all comes down to if a person likes to upgrade their vehicle every couple years.
Okay.
I would personally finance the vehicle just because with the warranty 5 years, 100,000, you're getting a lot out of it.
Yeah.
And then say if you did want to sell it in 5 to 7 years, I'm sure the resale value on this vehicle is going to be very good just because it is one Motor Trend of the Year last year.
Yeah, let's talk about that just really quick. So Motor Trend of the Year, like obviously flying colors.
Yeah, across the board.
And so I'm assuming, and I'm going to ask you here, when a car wins something like that, we assume it probably has some really good reliability. Let's talk about resale value. So you mentioned financing it, so it's probably a pretty safe bet. These are kind of hard to get, I understand, at dealerships here in Canada. They're hot commodities, right? They're a good seller.
Hot commodities. When we first released this car about 8 months back, there was a 3-month waiting list. We had
No
the
kidding,
5
eh?
or 6 that came in, those sold instantly, and then there was 3-month waiting list. We were lucky that we're a high volume dealer here at Mississauga Kia.
Yeah.
That the GSM is able to. They provided us with 4 more models
Cool.
that we have on the lot right now. But other than that, if you were looking at a special color, there's still about a 90-day waiting list.
Wow, so 3 months. Okay,
Yeah.
so but what that does, if you do get a hold of the car, chances are pretty good that, as a good seller, it's still going to be worth some good money. People are going to want that car in the next 2-3 years, even if
Yes.
you finance, right?
Yeah, no.
So
100%.
for those maybe who are looking to lease or prefer leasing, as a 7 or I suppose an 8-seater car now, it probably will hold its value very well, and you'll probably be able to get a good trade value out of it, at that 4 or 5 year mark, as opposed to getting out of a lease. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
In terms of the back rows, I know we're talking about a lot of the features for the driver. Is there any cool things about the back rows, or maybe the infotainment back there, the screen for the back seat or third row driver or third row passengers?
Well, in this model, you have the second sunroof, which is allowing sunlight to come through, which is very nice.
Cool.
You got the built-in sun blinds on both sides, the passenger and the driver's side.
Yep.
Which is very helpful with little ones or even pets.
Yep.
You want to roll down the window, but you don't want them hanging out or anything. And then you do have access to a 1-button push to access the third row. So to get in and out of these cars to get to the third row, very, very easy. You push one little button, the seat will slide forward and bend. So
Cool.
it makes it very accessible to there. And then not only that, it has USBs built everywhere. Every seat has a charger. So for the family that has a lot of kids and a lot of tablets, you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, you're accommodated. I think I saw something like silly, like there's 8 USB ports or something.
At least 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Both in our seats right here.
Yeah, in the seats.
In the seats.
The
And
camera probably won't pick that up, but yeah, right there, that's a good spot to have. Very easy to find. You don't have to play
And
around
they even
with it.
have pouches in the back as well. So on the seat, so if you do have a phone charging or anything, you can put it right in the pouch.
Cool.
And the cord's not in the way or anything like that. Makes it very easy. Then in the third row, you have 2 USBs on each side as well.
Awesome.
So very, very nice. All the seats recline. Even in the third row, you can get that recline.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in a more comfortable position. And you got a lot of leg room.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. So let's try parking this car. We got Buddy who wants to park as well, but let's take a look at the backup camera. Wow. So you get the 360 backup camera.
You get the 360.
When were you going to tell us about that? You were just going to surprise us?
360 camera all the way around. So not only when it's in reverse, even when in drive. Look, I'll put it back in drive.
Yeah.
If I hit this little view button, so it goes from there to your 360 view camera. So you can even change the little angles, everything like that. And the button's just down right here. So if I unclick it, it goes like that.
Okay, back to your regular infotainment.
And we are in drive. This is not in reverse or anything like that.
So the camera's accessible pretty well at all times as long
At
as
all,
you push
well,
that
at
button.
all times at slow speeds. Anytime we go over the speed of 20 kilometers an hour,
Yeah.
automatically the camera is going to turn itself off.
Yeah, I probably
So-
shouldn't be looking at the screen anymore, but
No, it's for parking purposes only. If you want to parallel or anything like that, it makes it very easy.
wow, yeah, it's definitely a cool feature. Awesome.
We also have a motion sensor to detect it in the rear as well. In the roof, it kind of looks like a vent. I don't know if you can see it. The second, it looks like a light in the middle back there.
Cool.
That's a motion sensor.
Awesome.
So if you would ever park the car and forget someone inside, a pet, a person,
It'll say something's alive and it's moving.
it's gonna beep at you. Yeah, it's gonna let you know.
Gotcha.
So very, very easy, accessible that way. A couple other cool features here. Auto hold.
Yep.
Auto hold, what that does is if you approach the red light, we're in drive. My foot's off the brake right now fully, and the auto hold is on. Say if the light goes green, I just touch the gas a little bit, and the brakes are gonna release, and we can go forward.
Cool. And how did you turn that on, Richard?
Right here through this button right down low. So I
Gotcha.
just turn it off and turn it back on. You got your parking sensors, and you even have your auto off to save on fuel at red lights or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, in traffic. Very, very nice.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks so much for watching. This is 2020 Kia Telluride SX edition here with Richard at Mississauga Kia. Unfortunately, the microphone cut out, so we had to stop recording. However, we will be doing more videos like this with sales consultants. Please let us know with a comment down below if there's more content that you want covered. Of course, at any time, you can ask for more information on this car from Richard here at Mississauga Kia, or request more videos if there's a specific feature that you'd like to see on the car. Please comment, subscribe, rate. Everything you do will help us out, and we look forward to putting out the next video. Let us know. Bye-bye.